Porto Alegre is quite a large city in the south of Brazil. It's more or less the 10th largest city in Brazil. The south is not necessarily the most touristic region. Obviously, Rio de Janeiro is much more touristic, but it's still interesting, especially if you're traveling from Montevideo. It's a good option to take a bus and stop over at Porto Alegre for a few days. So there's two interesting neighborhoods that I spent some time in: Cidade Baixa and also Moinhos de Vento. So Moinhos de Vento is very upmarket and it's a rich area. You will see old ladies strolling around without having to worry about being mugged or robbed or anything. Well, Cidade Baixa is more party neighborhood. A lot of bars there, bars and nightclubs, and it's also seen as a gay neighborhood. So you will see gay guys sitting around and kissing and whatever. So yeah, apart from that, there's very good food there and very affordable. Like in Cidade Baixa, they're known for their buffets in the street. So you pay by the weight of your plate, and you can just pile your plate as high as you want, and you pay the same price no matter how much food you take. So that's quite good. Also some exotic fruit. That's not crazy expensive or anything. And for this purpose, it's good to go to the central market. So the central market is a good place to buy more exotic fruit and interesting herbs and chimarrão. Chimarrão is the yerba mate of Brazil, and it's more green and more fresh than Argentinian mate. And they have these shops in the central market where you can pick between about 15 different types of chimarrão. So it's very interesting to check it out. Other than this, the Moinhos de Vento, it's, yeah, as I say, it's very upmarket, and the restaurants are more upmarket as well. Still not crazy expensive. It's still very affordable, and it's very high quality neighborhood, quality food and quality shopping. It's a nice place to also stroll around in, and then in between these two neighborhoods, the Cidade Baixa and Moinhos de Vento, you find a forest, and in a day you can feel free to walk through the forest in a day, but at night you have to stay out of this forest because it's very dangerous at night. There's no lights, and you're likely to get mugged if you stroll into the forest at night. So at night you can stay in the same neighborhood the whole night, but if you change your neighborhood or you walk somewhere else, you're gonna have to take a cab or taxi or something like that. And that's the safety precautions you have to take in Porto Alegre. But in a day, you can walk almost anywhere in the central part of the city. It's relatively safe, especially if you're a guy. But yeah, and then around Mercado Comercial central market, it's a little bit more of a dirty area. Like Cidade Baixa, it's also a little bit dirty. So, well, Moinhos de Vento, you can see they have more money to keep everything clean, keep the streets very clean. And you probably have to use caution around the Mercado, the market, the central market, for pickpockets and so on, because it's a bit more of a dirty and poor area and neighborhood. Other than this, there's good shopping malls, like Praia Belas, and there's other shopping malls as well. And it's very affordable once again, and good variety and things to buy, and they don't have the same economic problems as Argentina at the moment, so it's more affordable. Other than this, workout options, since Cidade Baixa is seen as sort of a gay neighborhood, there is a lot of gyms there, and it's not expensive. Well, you can pay maybe for $7 you will easily get a day pass for any gym in this neighborhood. I don't know about Moinhos de Vento, but I'm pretty sure there's also a lot of workout options there, and it's very good health food and things like that there. Here and there, a bit more expensive. So other than this, you have these empanadas. For example, the bus station, they have awesome empanada integral. It is empanadas made of whole wheat flour. And also these pastis. Pastis is like a deep fried sort of empanada. And they have a lot of these baked, these bakery snacks like the empanadas and the coxinhas and the pastis, uh, empadas. There's a lot of different variations of these sort of things, and you can try a few out. Keeb is another one. Not all of them are equally healthy, but I think the best choice for me definitely is the integral empanadas. Especially the ones at the bus station are pretty good. Like you can have one that's made with, it's basically this whole wheat flour, and inside you find spinach. So it's very filling. And of course you have acai here and there in Porto Alegre, not as much as you have in northern Brazil. But those are a few of the things you can look into buying and doing. So the main thing I would say is to visit the central market in Porto Alegre, and other than that, definitely walk around in Cidade Baixa and Moinhos de Vento. And try out a few of the restaurants. So let me mention two restaurants where I ate. The one is Raw Porto Alegre. It's a very good raw food restaurant. They don't use soya, they use natural ingredients. Very healthy food and very filling. I ate some raw spaghetti there as well, made with raw vegetables with a very tasty Alfredo sort of vegan sauce. Also the feijoa, the feijoa bean stew with whole brown rice, and the green juice as well. It's not cheap, but it's really good value for money. And Prato Verde, on the other hand, was more cheap, but it was less good value for money, and it was more vegetarian instead of vegan. And they use soya a lot. For example, they have these small hamburgers, and you can eat as many as you want, but it's soya. So soya is an allergen, so if you're allergic to soya, I wouldn't eat there. Other than this, there was some dessert options at Prato Verde as well, and a few other typical vegetarian options like these feijoa and stir fries and so on. But the quality of food was definitely much better at Raw Porto Alegre as opposed to at Prato Verde. And there are a few more other options, but you can definitely check out the Happy Cow app. There's a few more options. You won't go hungry there at all, and enjoy the exotic fruit as well.